First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 11, Writing Expressions and Equations, from Unit 2, Equations and Expressions, from our Pre-algebra and Algebra curriculum. So the goal in this video is to translate verbal sentences to mathematical expressions or equations. So in the previous couple videos, we looked at solving equations. In this video, we're going to look at verbal sentences and then translate them into some different types of expressions or equations. Before we get into that, I want to look at our four major operations and identify some vocabulary terms that we can connect with those four major operations. So we know our operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So if we're looking for addition, like what words can we see in a problem, in a verbal sentence that we know mean addition? So if we see words like add, plus, increase, more than, greater, and sum, then we're talking about addition, right? So if we see any of these words in a problem, we can associate those words with the operation addition. For subtraction, if we see minus, decrease, less than, reduce, and difference, we know we're talking about subtraction. Multiplication, times, product is a result of multiplication, of, we're talking about multiplication. So of, let's say we're asking for like what's 1/2 of 30. Well, to figure that out, we would just do 1/2 times 30. All right, you can put the 30 over 1 and then multiply out 30 times 1, 2 times 1, get 30 over 2, and then get 15, and half of 30 is 15. And division, quotient is the result of a division problem. Per, well, where do we hear the word per? Think of like miles per hour. So like a speed, we're dividing miles by hours. Split up, any kind of fraction ratio relationship. Okay. All right, so let's look at expressions and translating verbal sentences, in particular into expressions to start. So our expressions, we know, do not have an equal sign. So let's start with those. Number one, we've got 6 increased by a number. Now when we say a number, right, well, we don't know what that number is. And in math, in algebra, pre-algebra, what do we use to represent a number that we don't know? Well, that's going to be our variable x. Increased by, that's addition. So we want 6 plus x. Number 2, the product of 12 and a number. Well, we know a number, that's going to be x. And product is multiplication, so we could have 12 times x. Number 3, the difference, so difference is subtraction, of a number. So a number, we know that's going to be our variable x. And 20, well, subtraction or order matters, so we want to go in order here. So we want the difference of a number, x, and 20. So I want x minus 20 here. Number 4, the quotient of a number and 7 all increased by 10. So quotient is going to be division. And I want the quotient of a number. So a number is x and 7. So we can do x divided by 7. All increased by 10, so I'm increasing all of this by 10, so I'm going to put plus 10 here, so I'm dividing x by 7 first and then adding 10. Number 5, the product of 12 and a number, so that a number, again, that's our variable x, product is multiplication, so I want the product of 12 and a number. all increased by 9. So all is again going to be the 12 and a number. So all increased by 9. So I'm going to add the 9 because I'm increasing the product of 12 and x by 9. And number 6 can be a little bit tricky. 10 less than a number. So a number is x. And when we see less than, we know it's subtraction, but order matters for subtraction. So if I see 10 less than a number, do I want this, 10 minus x, or do I want x minus 10? Well, if I see 10 less than a number, what I want is this. So I want the x minus 10. Think about if I asked for 10 less than your age, okay? If your age was 15, you would do 15 minus 10 and give me 5. So again, order matters here. We're starting with that x, the second term, and subtracting 10 for that. All right, so let's do some problems involving equations. So equations we know have an equal sign. So number 1, the sum of 12 and a number. So again, we've got that a number. So that's our x. And we want the sum of 12 and a number. So 12 plus x is equal to 15. So that's our equals 15. And remember, addition is commutative, so the order that we put this doesn't really matter. Number 2, 17 less than a value. So that's going to be our x. And if I want 17 less than, that's similar to number 6 from the previous slide. So I want x minus 17. Remember, order matters when we subtract. Less than is subtraction. Is equal to 23. And number 3, 25 is equal. So 25 is equal to, and I want the product of, so we're multiplying 5 and a number. So a number is our x, and I want the product of 5 and that number, so I want 5 times x. So number 4, we want the quotient of a number and 2 is equal to 10. So we want a number. I left out a, so we add that in. And we want the quotient, so quotient is division. A number and 2, so we're dividing a number, so that's our x and 2, so we'll have x divided by 2, or we could write x divided by 2 is equal to 10. Number 5, the sum, so sum is addition, of 2 and a number. So a number, that's our x. So a number times 3. So I want 3 times x, and we want the sum of 2 and that number. So 2 plus 3 times x is equal to 15. Okay, and remember, addition is commutative, so if we wanted to maybe switch that order, that would be okay too. And then number 6, 16 is equal to the product of 4 and a number. So a number, so that's x, and we want the product of 4 and a number, so 4x, all increased by. So when we say all increased by, it means we're grouping the 4 and the x together, and we're increasing the 4 and the x together all by 3. So we should have this 16 equals 4x plus 3. Okay. All right. So these were a good number of problems involving writing expressions and equations from verbal statements. I hope this helped you guys out a little bit. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If there are any specific topics you want to see a video done, leave it in the comments. Again, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.